Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with my friend and colleague, Miss Sylviana Moore. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups. Want to give a shout out to our friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we are here for coffee conversations with the Biz Chicks. We always like to get started with a topic that we hope will stimulate you and want you to wade in and give your opinion. So, with that, Sylviana, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the importance of hobbies for a thriving business. Let's be quite honest. If you're an entrepreneur and you're a great entrepreneur, you may not be making enough time for hobbies, downtime, right? And
Mm,
that is imperative. I know when I first started in business with between my first and third year, I was so committed that my business was pretty much the only thing that I focused on. I was trying to figure out the best way to drive traffic. I was trying to figure out the best way to start my branding procedures. I was trying to figure out the best way to partner with other people, to learn more. I just felt like I didn't have enough time to make time for myself. Now that I'm officially within my fifth year of business, I have to say that hobbies, or not even hobbies, but leisure activities
there you go.
are super essential for thriving businesses.
I have to agree. I was listening to um, one of my favorite broadcasters, Joel Osteen, and he was talking about taking care of yourself. And also, another contributor that I like is Chris Sane. He's a YouTuber, and he was talking about investing in yourself. And he said one of the ways to invest in yourself is through leisure time, doing something for yourself, exercising. These are the things that I think you're alluding to
Yep.
take time out to make sure you do something for you.
Yes.
I've always heard people say when they talk about entrepreneurship, pay yourself first. Okay, so you may not be making coins that much right now. You may be reinvesting it in the business, but you can take time. You can pay yourself by taking time to do you.
Absolutely. I think there's a Hi, Miss Francine. I think there's definitely a misconception that if you're not working within your business, you're wasting time. Or if you're not working in your business, you're kind of just not putting anything forth, right? You're kind of just wasting time, like I was saying. I think we need to change that mindset, guys. There has been so many times where I have been, like, for instance, this weekend, I had an opportunity to spend time with my family, which was very much so needed, a great time. And I had to decide between taking my laptop and not taking my laptop. Because what we tend to do is we'll say, I'm going to go and I'm going to relax. But then your relaxed time turns into working time or downtime. And then you just checking emails here and there. And let's be quite clear. This weekend, I actually missed a client meeting because you really can't turn it on and turn it off. Okay. You have to choose. You have to choose to say, okay, I'm going to give myself 100% time of me time, downtime to relax, not worry about anything, not think about anything. There's nothing in the back of my mind, no commitments, right? Usually in that time, not because it's unhealthy, but in a positive way, I'm still thinking creatively. Usually, I find so much inspiration from maybe just children at the pool, or maybe, I have a conversation with, a stranger and it sparks
Mm.
something in the back of my mind, right? Typically, have you ever heard that saying, you need to get more eyes on work because you've been looking at the same thing for too long? It's almost the same thing in your business. Sometimes, hobbies or leisure activities can give you fresh perspectives. And typically that was what happens. When I'm not thinking about something, I take my mind off of it. You'll have a conversation with someone, you'll be like, wow, that connects here, here, and sparked here. Thank you. Right? So yes, leisure time, it's super important for fresh perspectives, renewed energy. I love it. You need to take some time for yourself.
Yes, and if you're not relaxed, you may actually miss the connection. Another way of paying yourself first is to take that leisure time and form relationships. Relationships are much more valuable than money. So that, but if you never take the time to be in relationship building mode, in other words, being receptive to just making a human connection, you'll miss it.
Agreed.
Woo. Uh,
We're talking about
I,
hobby.
I, s- I sent something at the last minute to you
Yes,
guys on the text
yes.
about how Greece was going add a day. I was
Yes.
like, who does that?
So now they're doing what, a 6 day week? But how
The
many hours a day?
8?
Oh, stop.
Okay. Okay, so we doing 48 hours.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because they're trying to get more production from people. And at our last first Monday event, there was a young lady, Jayla. She came and she talked to us about how she went to visit her daughter in Spain. And her daughter says, in Spain, I'm going to tell you how their work day goes. You work from 11 to 12. You have a lunch break at 12 to 1. After the lunch break at 12 to 1, you go back to work from 1 to 3. You take another break from 3 to 6. Let me look at my notes here. 3 to 6 for a siesta.
What?
Yes. Then you go back to work from 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then you do it all again. So you're working a 5-hour day, but and this is mandatory by the government, that you take that siesta, that you take your lunch break.
Yes. So 3 breaks. Wow.
You start work at 11 a.m.
Yes.
That's the beauty.
11 a.m. to 12, you work 1 hour, then you take a lunch break from 12 to 1. Then you go back to work from 1 to 3.
Okay.
Then you take a siesta from 3 to 6. And then you go back to work from 6 to 8. Then you're off at 8 p.m. and you have the rest of I
Evening.
mean, the evening. You can go to dinner, go to a show, go do something else. But I thought it was very, very interesting. And she said the people are just happy, they're smiling.
They're rested.
No, not
And
rest.
they are not stressing with traffic. They're not stressing with, they had breakfast with their family, which meant they get to check in and find out what's really going on with the kids. You get to see their faces. You get to look in their face and say, look, you don't look like all's well at school. What's really going on? But when you are making cereal and pushing waffle pancakes out the toaster, getting
So
everybody in the car.
So what does this tell us? So these people have hobbies. They may paint. Maybe that's why Picasso was painting and doing stuff.
He had
He
He,
had
time.
time, yeah.
and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if I adopted um that rule, the
I don't know,
Madrid standard? I'm like, wait.
friend. I used to be at work at 7:30. By 11 o'clock, I was 2/3 through my day.
Yes. And I know for a little while, people were saying they were considering a 4-day work week trial. I think in like Greece. We need to be trialing. Why we ain't trialing? And
Well, well, I know in California they allow that, and a lot of employers do allow that. They allow it's called a 980, because the other days you work 9 days, you're still working the 40-hour week.
okay,
It's just that your other 4 days are a little longer.
absolutely.
Right. And I can see how that's working for
Mhm.
some. I'm still doing the Madrid model. Take the siesta
Mhm.
in the middle of the day, and it's mandatory. Everything is shut down. The shops are shut down.
Mhm.
Businesses are shut down from 3 to 6.
Well, I appreciate the fact that they take that into account by allowing you to get to work at 11 so that you do get your 8 hours in.
And for someone like myself who's an early riser
Mhm.
and is in bed about 8, I'm a
Mhm.
little upset that I got to start at 11. Miss
Yeah,
T,
you
I'm
see.
like, can I get some work in? I'm already up. How that work? I gotta come back from 6 to 8 after the.
Now, who says that we can't turn the clock a little bit to make it work for us if we are
Mm.
early risers?
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying take the 3 hours for the siesta in the middle at 2 o'clock. I'm already
You know what I
trying to
mean?
find a nap somewhere. So I can see the 3 hours, and even if we start work at say 8 or 10. Now, starting work at 11 is the work that you do with, I think, facing public, right?
Mhm.
What I do from the time I get up till about 8 o'clock, I'm not really doing work. I'm kind of working out, breakfast, meditation, water, that type of stuff.
Mhm.
8 o'clock comes, then I might start working on business tasks. Well, maybe I start working at 10 o'clock on business tasks. See, but now I have time for me
Mhm.
before I start kicking in at 11 o'clock, talking to people and all of what they got going on. And then we start that's the work day. Then you take a lunch break. You've
Mhm.
already been up doing stuff, but I
Yeah. Well,
still think
yeah. Mark has a comment here. He says more companies could successfully do a 4-day work week if they moved beyond the old presence and productivity model. It would be about results. I think we learned this during the pandemic that people were more productive outside working from home than they were when they went in the office. Because now you skip the whole water cooler, the whole people stopping by your desk, interrupting you, da 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 da.
So I,
so.
I I think it's a really great point, Misty. I was actually going to point that out as well.
Mhm.
In the US, I think the closest we've gotten to less than 40 hours is hybrid work style and
Mhm.
work from home. And I think that's created a huge controversy in most businesses. As
People
you
don't want to come back.
Elon Musk was like, come back or leave,
Mhm. Mhm.
because he feels as though I need to see you working in office, right? Now, to Mark's point, typically most humans are only productive 3 to 4 hours in a day. 3 to 4. So what we doing for the rest of them 5 to 6 hours, folks? Like Miss T said, maybe we walking past the water cooler, having some conversations. But what I'm hearing from you, Miss Francine, is how can we be more productive? And I've heard in even past conversations where you're like, hey, I'm doing my most difficult tasks in the morning, which I've heard that a lot because you're fresh, right? You've just woken up, you have the most brain power. I think for me, it's just about reviewing your time. I think that it's going to work differently for everyone. I would love to say 4 days works, or I could wake up at 11 and do 8, but you have to figure out as a business owner what works best for you. I know when I first left, grade school and went to college, I said, oh, nope, I don't need no breaks. Let me just go ahead and pre-parent myself. Let me stick with the schedule that I know. But I'm a creature of habit, right? If you know what your best routine is. So I think take some time to write down your regular routine and how you're spending each hour of the day, and that will let you know. Maybe I can do 11 to 6 or 11 to 8, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
uh Mark
You
has
know
another
your body
comment.
clock. Mhm.
Mark says, if I'm faster and more efficient than you, I shouldn't have to stay at work longer to soothe your pain for not being as skilled. Yes, I said it. And that's the thing. I don't need to uh I'm like Sylviana, I need to be working and finish getting some stuff done.
Mhm.
And when I was working for someone, they would make okay, you have to take your lunch break. I was like, I'm in a zone right here. I don't need a
Mhm.
lunch break. I understand that was legally they had to give me a break and I'm supposed to take it. Um, I think what I do on my break, I should actually take a break.
Mhm.
In hindsight, take the break
Mhm.
and do
Well,
something else with my brain, like we
it's
started.
like Silviana was saying, sometimes when we walk away from a project and come back,
Fresh
we have
eyes.
a different perspective. We have a epiphany or something, just come back and oh, I didn't see that the last time I was in here because I was thinking so hard.
Yeah,
I was overthinking something. However, I agree with you, Fran. The break should be when you need the break.
Okay,
absolutely.
and then some of us will, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
That's
good.
true.
No, you're not. Stuff
You
is
need to rest
falling
your
all over.
eyes, if nothing else. You're looking at the
Mm-hmm.
computer all day.
Yeah. And then you have some people like me where I used to work at a company. I was going to say the name, but I'm not. And, the break time was with our coworkers. And it's like, this is work. This is not a break. I don't want to see y'all on the break. I want to call my mama. I want to go walk away.
I
Right.
want to. I want to get outside, get some vitamin D, and I want to be alone when I do it. I want to go sit under a tree, whatever I want to do.
And
Without, I don't. I don't want to be social right now. I
Yeah.
already talked to y'all at the water cooler. I already you came by my desk and interrupted me already today. Maybe today I just want to do me.
Exactly.
and that's why I like I'm gonna call it the Madrid model. I can see because prior to 11 o'clock, I've done stuff at the house. You can get laundry done. You can do a whole bunch of stuff up to 11 when you have to be at work.
That's true.
After you get there, then you get some food. You know what I mean? 11, it's time for lunch. You get your lunch and then go back to work at 1 o'clock. And I'm working till 1 to 3. That's going to be really productive time. If I know that siesta is happening at 3 and I need to get this done, I need to get in here and get this work done. I will be more efficient.
And I'm hoping, are they feeding us at the siesta? I need to.
No, you get to go home, do
Oh,
something, go take a nap.
okay. I
Terry, you're
wonder.
muted.
I wonder if their gas price, if they spend a lot of money on gas out there, because that's a lot of back and forth.
Well, no, because in Spain, the roads are real narrow. You're probably not riding in a car.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Probably on a moped or you're walking and
Mm-hmm.
everything's they
Lot,
still probably have that downtown model where everything is centralized. I was
because it's
saying we could
yeah.
go to the bank during those hours. We could conduct our personal affairs or take a nap. You're probably not going home unless you got,
Eh,
small children you need to pick up from school or something like
okay, so okay, we're so Americanized.
that. Mhm.
We are still in everything is shutting down in Madrid at 3 o'clock.
Mhm.
Banks, everybody
Oh,
take a
everybody. Okay.
break.
All right.
So everybody is taking a break. You can now I see why Google has the little pods in the offices. Ooh, we just go take a little siesta.
Mhm.
I see what Google was trying to do when they incorporated play into their business model.
Mhm.
Some people were poo-pooing the idea, like, okay,
But also it kept people from being recruited by outside forces. So that is some coveted talent. And if you're off campus, you're vulnerable to people approaching you. So
yeah.
if I can create this bubble where you can bring your dog, you can spend the night, you can go over and get in a hammock, or you can go downstairs and play ping pong, whatever. And I'm going to give you free lunch. So don't go off campus.
But it's twofold. I mean, the hobbies,
Yes, it is.
you can have your hobbies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There are people who like to play soccer or basketball or whatever your hobby of choice is, knitting. Maybe I can go and sit and knit.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
if you have a dog too, that means you're going to take a break and walk the dog. You know what I mean? So now you got exercise going, which means that my costs for to ensure you go down. You know, so it's a holistic thing to allow
yes. Oh,
people to change their work patterns.
hobbies are holistic. Mark has another comment. He
Mhm.
says, when I worked at PwC, everyone knew that one of the partners would walk the floor at 5:15. So
Mhm.
everyone made sure to look busy at the time, regardless of what they may have been doing earlier. See,
Mhm.
okay. And it's interesting, because here in the United States, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Absolutely.
Like, who is that? I worked, did what I needed to do. Now I'm taking a brain break. I can play asteroids or I can play solitaire.
Mhm.
See, playing solitaire was a form of disengaging your brain so that you
Mm.
can think about something else and come back refreshed.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I think we need to have some hobbies. Y'all need to go out and play. What the kids had recess for a reason.
Ah, absolutely. And it needs to be something that takes you away from your normal business routine. Don't make your hobby more work.
Right.
Don't
Oh,
make it-
and but that's what we do in the United States here in this
yes.
country. We will, okay, like Sylviana said, bringing the laptop, bringing the iPad, bringing the stuff. How about leaving in the room on purpose? Are you gonna be what is the word when the drug addict has needing a fix? You can't leave your phone in the room, or you'd be like, oh my God, I gotta have it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It is, you have to learn how to disengage, folks. And to be quite honest, this is a hard, I don't think and don't kill me, y'all, but I just don't feel like this is a what is it, one size fits all model. I know so
Correct.
many medical professionals that do what, 12-hour shifts, and then, or like 24-hour shifts, and then they're off for 2 days, or they're doing that for like they have crazy schedules. I don't know if I can do that. Or perhaps, I know some people do knock shifts every day. I mean, they start their day at 10 o'clock at night,
Yes.
so I think it just really depends on who you are. For me, just like Mrs. T said, I'll watch a movie for 2 hours, I'm working in the room, and then the movie goes off. I'm like, okay, that's break time. Let me go walk the dog. So as long as you are taking those breaks, again, I think that's the biggest thing, disengaging. My mother, she has a job that she can do. She's been there for 20 years, so she knows it like the back of her hand. So
Mhm.
during her break, she's running errands. And I'm like, when are you actually relaxing? She's like, well, when I get off. I'm like, but then you're at home being a wife. So my question too, as a CEO is your disengaged time just a time that you're most comfortable with because you know how to do it like the back of your hand? Because that's not leisure,
Mhm.
right? Just because
Mhm.
you do the laundry without thinking about it doesn't mean that it's giving you that fresh perspective. It's giving you that renewed energy, right? And I think for workaholics like myself or people who wear multiple hats, we're like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm relaxing. And it's like, no, no, honey, unless you're sitting down doing nothing. I mean, at this point, I've turned do not disturb, okay? Set those boundaries, folks. Understand what it looks like to be at zero. And then at that
Mhm.
point, compare, okay, should I bring the laptop? No. Because that was like 2 years of my life trying to really disengage from my laptop. Like, is this a business trip? Am I going to need it? Am I going to have to check? And it's like, no, you are not going to need it. Your business should be able to run without you for 72 hours, right? I hope you guys
Mhm.
enjoyed your 5-day weekend, right? If your business is at a point where you have to be in it 100%, we need to discuss some things. Let's schedule a discovery call because we don't have the right systems and process in place. And I've been there where someone had to tell me, hey, if this event can't run, if you're not here, then you're not doing it right. And
Mm-hmm.
that's everyone's standard.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mark's comment here, he says many in the United States suffer from a syndrome in which they equate exhaustion with self worth
Mm.
and success instead of results in relation to clear goals.
Yes, we're gonna have to get Mark up on. We're gonna have to get Mark up in here because yes, Mark, absolutely. I, as a what is that, superwoman syndrome?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not exhausted or I'm not marking all the tasks off my list, I'm like, did I have a good day? Was today a good day? And that's not okay. Going back to our first conversation, Miss Francine, what is it? We said three things.
Mm-hmm.
Three things, and we had a great day. And I've been using that model because, to your point, we do have that mindset. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not drowned, exhausted, I didn't do enough.
Right.
And
And go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Terry.
I was going to say we need to be refreshed and open, or we'll miss something. Let me put it this way: we will miss what I call the bulletin board. I can remember my daughter was in school and she was going through a lot of difficulties. And I said, did you ever go over to the department and look on the bulletin board to see what they're offering? Because she needed a distraction. She went over there. They had one slot open for exchange student for the
Uh-oh. I think we had a signal situation.
Yes.
I want to know what that was. Okay, hopefully it'll pop back in here. But we need to disengage, and disengaging and go and doing something for fun. Mark said it's a cliffhanger. We need to disengage. We need to go have fun. We need to enjoy our lives. And I don't think just working is enjoying it. Yes, I have fun at work because your business should be fun to run, but it shouldn't be. You should still do something other than business.
Yes. And what do they call that? What? Work-life balance?
Yeah, harmony, something. I
Love.
need to go to a beach and sit at the beach and look at the water and do nothing.
Yes.
Do nothing. Okay, so Terry, you had us at a cliffhanger. There was something on the bulletin board,
okay,
and it was one slot left for
Yeah.
for a trip to be an exchange student that summer. So she
Mhm.
got to go to
where?
France. She went to
France?
France. She studied in Paris. And then during the trip, of course, there were a bunch of students. So they went to Barcelona. They got on the super train and went to several countries. She would have missed that because she was so consumed with these other distractions. You need a break. So I'm saying to you guys, don't miss the bulletin board because
Yes.
you're
Okay.
so
Uh,
busy trying to make things happen.
Right.
Take a break, take a walk, go over and see what other opportunities are out there.
Mark says here in Spanish and many European cultures, they work to live. They do not live to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
that needs to settle
Right.
because
Yes.
you can get that really mixed up. I gotta be at work. I gotta da da da. And some people live to work.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is I gotta get up, go to work. I got a job to do. I can hear that song from I don't know who was a temptation, somebody. I got work to do. No, no, hold on.
I'm taking care of business, baby. Can't you see? I got to make it for you and I got to make it for me.
I got work to do. But we're supposed to be enjoying our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's just, as Americans, especially in 2024, because
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest, where we have social media, we have influence, we are no longer in a place of just our little box, right?
We're over connected.
We're over connected, overstimulated. It almost feels like if you're not doing something 24 hours a day, you ain't doing enough, right? So, as much as it's easy to say work life balance, you need a break. I totally understand why people are pushing so hard. I could
Mm-hmm.
totally understand the propaganda, but understand that systematically, the government and the world is meant to be that way, because if you keep going, then that's why they have antibiotics. That's why they have hospitals. That's why they have all these things, right? Therapists. I feel like therapy has never been the most trendy word except for 2024. But we have all these things, I guess, to keep us going or to provide a supplement because we are not taking that time off, right?
Yes.
And so I think we need to pay more attention to that and say, no, I don't need an ibuprofen. I probably just need a nap. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. And that's okay to take a nap. So yes, work-life balance is huge. Take some time to do that. But what I was going to say is for someone like myself and others like myself who are super goal-oriented, you may be you may be thinking like, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And it's like, no. You have all the time in the world, all the time in the world to achieve your dreams. Okay. Nothing is overnight.
There you go.
And it, we're trying to live the microwave life. I'm like, I'm not doing this. We need to live the slow cooker life.
Put me in a crock pot.
Yes. Crock pot life. Get out the microwave. Microwave food don't taste as good.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Mark says, and you've heard me say it again and again, striving for work-life balance is a recipe for failure. It is about harmony, all of the pieces fitting together to your desired end.
Absolutely.
Which means you got to know what you want.
Oh, really? That part?
If you start with what do I want, as opposed to what is my why? My why is what I want.
Right. And why did you start your company and what are you wanting to do with it? Are you using it to build your wealth, or what is the whole purpose for the company that you started? If you like helping people, you can't help people without helping yourself. And I've talked about this before. If you want to be selfless, you're going to need to be selfish, meaning that you're going to need to pull away, put your mask on first, like they tell you on the plane, before you go help the babies and the elderly. Put your mask on first, because you can't help nobody. You laying all out, and you in the aisle that you're supposed to open the door to get people off, and you all passed out. No, put your oxygen on first.
There you go.
Help yourself, help somebody else.
Get selfish. Be selfish. Do you. Say no to other commitments and go play golf. Go swim. Go ride your bike. Go play with your dog. What do you want to do that's going to break you out of
the containment?
What I'm going to ask people in here, what's your hobby? What do you do for a hobby?
Okay.
I guarantee you some people will be like, hobby? Do you paint? Do you write songs? Do you play piano? What do you do for a hobby? I'm asking the question today of all those who are listening live and on the replay. What is your hobby?
Yes. So I want to tell you guys, ladies, so while I was on vacation with my family this weekend, I had the opportunity to read a book that I have been reading for over a year now, because again, I wasn't taking that leisure time. So this weekend I had the opportunity to read some of the book, and it's called Punch Fear in the Face, Escape Average, and Do Work That Matters. And what he was talking about in the book was value attribution. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's a tendency to overestimate the value or quality of an item. So he was talking about, why do people overvalue diamonds and not other rare jewels? Because we have some jewels out there that are more fine, rare, outside of diamonds, right? And what he was talking about was that you as a person, because we put that value attribution on that thing, now that's why diamonds are so sought after and not any other, let's just say, gem, right? And it's the same thing with your time. You guys have to go back and prioritize this leisure time. Stop thinking about it as an option. It's a need. It has to happen, right? So get out of the fog. He talks about that a little bit too, where he says, instead of asking yourself questions like, well, what if I don't take the time? Or what if this happens? Or if I take time off, then I'm not going to have, These are all fog like questions, right? Do not do that. The only question you really should be asking yourself is, what provides me joy? Instead, we ask ourselves these questions and we create all these elements and problems. And what he talks about is we overcomplicate a simple problem, because if it's simple, we have to move. And we don't really want to move for real. We want to overcomplicate it. We want to make it seem like it's more drastic than it is. And in all reality, the only question you should be asking yourself is, am I happy, and what is giving me joy?
I love it. I
Hey, Doc.
love it. If it doesn't make me smile, I won't bother with it.
So Mark has a comment. He says, I have always hated that question because my hobbies have always tended to be aligned with my professional pursuits.
Same.
Uh, Okay, what do you do for fun is my point.
If
And
that if that's if that's fun for you, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem
You know
with
what I
it
mean?
either, but I want to know, what are we doing outside of the work?
Mhm.
What do we do? Just I like the I
I love
can
jigsaw puzzles. Okay, I love
right.
to do puzzles. I also like to watch mysteries on TV.
Ooh, me too.
Maybe they're connected. I don't know what it is. I like to solve stuff.
Right. And that helps me solve stuff.
I guess in my work life, I guess it's
Yeah, and it
gives me
helps
a
me solve
structure.
stuff later, right? Because you figure out, I remember Agatha Christie in Hercule Poirot. He
Mhm,
always talks about exercise in the little gray
mhm,
cells. I was
mhm,
like, okay, because you're figuring stuff out,
mhm.
and it will land over to what you're doing in your business, but it's fun just to not be working on the business and taking a chill pill and going to do something for fun.
Exactly.
Uh, hey, Dr. Tachi. Mark says the bitch chicks are my hobby.
Oh, fantastic! We love you.
Absolutely.
I
Take that.
challenge all of us to go do something fun. Paint,
Hmm, hmm.
draw a stick figure if you can't draw. Do-
And if you don't have paints, you take your iPad out and just, do what you do.
Draw on it.
Yes.
Hmm, hmm.
And if you don't know what you like, try something new. Do
I
not be
love
afraid to
that.
say, hey, this is on my list. I've never done it before, but let's just see how this goes.
Mhm. Explore
Right.
some stuff.
It's like, okay, wine tasting or swimming, watching the ducks. Go to the park and sit and what is it, pigeons, ducks, something, where you just sit and throw bread.
Yeah,
Can't
I
throw
have a,
bread
I
now,
have a
but
friend, she quilts. Also, she makes sure that every year she goes and sees every film that's nominated for the Academy Awards. That's
Nice.
her thing, to make sure she sees all the film. You know, people have different things that make them smile.
right.
Just
Absolutely.
make
I
sure.
like that. What will you do today that makes you smile?
Absolutely.
And because a hobby, it should be something that makes you smile.
Yeah.
And I don't
Mhm.
know why the word hobby comes up. Like hobby. Well, anyway, I gotta look into that. Dr. Tachi says, I love any drawing, painting, and crafting. And
Ooh,
Absolutely.
there are sometimes you would not recognize people and their hobbies. Oh, you
mhm.
do that? Like
Yeah.
horseback riding. I try
Mhm.
stuff. Am I gonna make this a major hobby for the rest of my life? Probably not. Horseback riding.
Horseback riding did not set well with me, if you will. It was too
Uh,
much. Afterwards, the pay was just too much. I guess I could have probably gotten used to it, but it's a little much for me. But
yeah,
congratulations.
but you tried it, right?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Hmm,
Okay, there's whitewater rafting,
hmm.
coming down the American River in a raft, in a piece of plastic, coming over the rocks and stuff.
Now, see,
Okay,
that's not my thing. I don't do things that challenge my insurance, like bungee jumping and whitewater rafting and race car riding. I, I don't even do the bumper cars anymore because I have more respect for my back now than I used to. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So and I totally get it because there's people who are into the extreme sports and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm not one of those, but I decided to try something. I'm like, oh, I
Okay.
like that. I decided I'm gonna play golf.
Oh yeah.
And
Nice.
I was like, okay, cool. I may not be, a Tigress Woods, but whatever. I'm just having fun. Even if I see other people, I was like, it,
This is
it
supposed to
is.
be relaxing, people. Well,
Yes.
for me anyway. Maybe for some people, it's a profession.
No, and even if it's once you picked up the tennis racket, it was for fun at first, right?
Yeah. Mark said, "Draw me a picture, Dr. Taji." Look.
So having fun. I like going to the beach. I like walking just walking on the beach, not saying anything, not nobody calling me. Don't ask me nothing. I just want to chill. Just
Yeah,
watch the ocean.
the other thing too, Fran, is that your hobbies can change. I know
Hmm.
I was an avid cricketer at one time, and I don't do that as much anymore. Um, and so my hobbies changed. I started walking more than and just doing different things with that time. So don't be afraid to rotate your hobbies.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
There are coffee connoisseurs, movie connoisseurs, wine connoisseurs, race car enthusiasts. There's all kind of things that can spark a smile.
Mhm. I love watching the gymnasts for the Olympics. Oh my gosh, that and track. That's my. I love those two things. So I have actually gone on YouTube and watched the pre-qualifications,
Hmm.
and it's been pretty exciting. I like it. So to
Okay.
me, that's a hobby. I need a more active hobby.
It counts. It counts.
Kind of
It
sedentary,
does.
but I like it. Mhm.
Well, and so I don't know if we're gonna do this in September to ask you what you did this summer. You know how
Mhm.
you had to come back
Mhm.
from when you got back to school. Okay, we need you to write an essay on what you did for the summer.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you might want to just write your own essay just to see what did you do for fun? What did you do that made you smile? And hopefully, being here with us has made you smile. And, because we're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. That's why we're here. We're not trying to make it a grudge and make it a chore. We need to take the hassle out the hustle.
Yep. And help you run a profitable business that's fun to run.
Hmm.
I wish somebody would have told me to sit down sooner. Sit down.
Well, I could have told you that. Get somewhere and sit down. My grandmother said that to me all the time. And I say that to the biz chicks. Let's just get somewhere and sit down sometimes because then you can hear. And like
Hmm.
I said, we can revisit places.
And Mark says, I'll do what I did then. I'll make it all up. What did I do for my summer? Look out, Tom Cruise. In,
Oh my
in
God.
writing, oh my gosh, just
Mhm, mhm.
getting stuff out your head. It's just so much that we can do. I'm gonna learn how to play piano. I love
Yes.
piano,
Mhm.
and I wanted to. I might go get me another little keyboard just to
That's what I had.
something
I
to
taught myself the keyboard, yeah, one summer.
just something to do. I
I
don't.
couldn't afford the piano.
Yeah, but I might be able to go find one on a marketplace or offer
That's
up or
true.
something and
That's true.
play. How many hobbies do we got laying around the house that we tried?
Okay, that we can easily revisit.
Right. What's something y'all know what y'all need to throw the dust off of? Go ahead and wipe the dust off. You know what family member you say you was gonna call back, but ain't called back.
Oh my gosh. In the
You
name.
know what list you have that you haven't gotten to, or what book has been sitting there for 6 months.
Mhm.
So yes, take some time for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And then tell us how you did, and share with us your the joys that you've discovered when you went out and had a little bit of fun. So that's our conversation for today. We trust that you got something out of this. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. TJ will be here with us with some marketing talk and some things for your social media and digital life. We got Coach Karen coming in on Wednesday talking
Mhm.
about your money mindset because,
Yes,
that's a practice.
it
You know
is.
what I
The
mean? That's a
sneaky
whole.
things that distract you from your money.
hmm And then on Thursday, we got Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and her guests. Friday, we'll be back here talking tech in a way that you can understand and how to implement the new tech that's coming on the market and how you can do some things that will, how you can use the tech to increase your business. So, with that, we want to say thank you so much. If you're in the Sacramento area, the BFC conference is coming up starting tomorrow, right here at 2667 Del Paso Boulevard. It is open for you to come on through. If you're in, this is Marketplace and Ministry. It's a Marketplace and Ministry conference to help you do business better in your business and ministry because ministry is a business, if you didn't know that. So that's it's one of our what I was going to say, community partners, one
Hmm.
of our people that we are in connection with, they're hosting that. And so you might want to check it out
Okay.
this week, July 9th through the 11th. So with that, we want to say thank you. Looking forward to our next time together.
Hmm.
Oh, and if you want to join Biz Chicks, you can text Biz to 33777 or you can go to bizchicks.net. If you'd like to share your wisdom and insights, we are looking for contributors to our newsletter. I know Terry and I and Silviana, we can all write up some stuff and put it in there, but we want to hear from you. You all have expertise that needs to be shared, and we'd like to showcase your expertise in our newsletter. So if you'd like to share something, let us know. Just send us an email to bizchicksnet@gmail.com. Yeah, bizchicksnet@gmail.com, or go to bizchicks.net and send us a little message. That's all I have for today, ladies.
We want to thank you for running a profitable business that's fun to run, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dr. Tachi.